14, number 19 in the red jerseys. All righty, please welcome Brad Johnson and Keyshawn Johnson. Welcome, gentlemen. Good to see you. You get some rest last night? Did you celebrate?
It was a long night for us last night.
A little groggy eyed, all right? You still here?
I'm a little tired.
Hello, a little tired?
A little bit.
How much did you sleep last night? Were you up all night?
I got about 2 hours of sleep, I think.
Yeah. You too?
I think kind of going into the game, I think our hearts were pounding so much the night before. I don't think we've slept the last 48 hours.
What is it the night? I mean, what do you do the night before? I mean, you put your head down. I mean, how long does it take? Do you just lie there? What goes through your mind?
You know, I had a couple sleeping pills, and it lasted. It lasted for probably 2 hours, and I was up at about 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Now, you guys were the underdogs going into this, wouldn't you say? I mean, at least according to Vegas and the odds. I mean, how'd that make you feel? Was that like is it like a weight when you walk in that stadium? Do you feel like, what goes through your mind?
I don't know how Keyshawn feels. I feel like we've always been the underdog, and I kind of approach it that way. But, you know, for us, it's an incredible team, and our players on our team, we always talk about it's about us, not about the other team or not what the critics are saying. And we feel like no one works harder than us, and no one's more prepared for us playing under John Gruden and Monty Kiffin. And I think it's kind of shown what we did this year, and then especially throughout the playoffs.
Well, what happened to Oakland? I mean, they played bad, right?
What happened to them?
I'm not saying you, but no, you guys played great too. But I mean, obviously you guys did a terrific job. But I mean, a lot of people said, did you psych them out? I mean, what?
No, I think what happened is, you know, the incident that happened probably distracted them a little bit with the player coming up missing, and then also
you don't show up for the game. Yeah.
Also, the way we prepared, we went out there and played, and for the most part, for the last couple playoff games, something has always happened bad to us at the beginning of the game, whether it's a long kickoff return or we just not in sync with the interception. Then all of a sudden we just get back together on the sideline, and now we put together, you know, 80-yard drives, and at that point you got to watch out.
Yeah. Now you had an interception right at the beginning of the game. What does that do to your head? You go, uh-oh, this is it, I'm screwed.
Well, unfortunately, we didn't throw that many interceptions this year, but it happened in the San Fran game, the first possession happened in the Philly game, the second possession happened this game, and those type things happen. But the thing about we learn from those experiences in the past, and really you don't want to let one bad play affect the next play. And we've always played good after that interception, so we got it out of the way, and then we bombed away.
Let's get the bad stuff out of the way up front.
Out of the way.
Okay.
All the bad stuff.
Because, you know, I was pulling some of the press. It wasn't what they said about these guys. And the stuff they've said about you, weak-armed, I heard that, not a strong thrower, slow. Do you feel redeemed now? Do you feel like...
They've been saying that about me since 5th grade.
Really?
So,
yeah.
I'm kind of used to it, and it's kind of working out.
Because I remember, didn't you say like last week, that's it, I'm not talking to the press anymore, I'm out of here.
Well, because they can't make up their mind. 1 minute Brad's great, 1 minute, you know, they're asking me to talk to them, and then as soon as they ask me something about myself, and I tell them, say, oh, well, you know, I think I'm going to have a pretty good game. Oh, he's selfish, he's this. It's like, you know what, never mind, I don't even want to talk to you because you'll make up your mind.
Now, let me ask you, after you said, I'm never going to talk to the press again, how many hours was it till you talked to the press again?
Right at the end of the game.
Like 2 hours later, you're talking to the press again.
You know, I was going to do that, though. I'm not going to let them dictate to me who I should talk to.
Now, you got hurt in December, right? You hurt your back. How bad was that?
Well, actually, during the middle of the season, I had my ribs cracked, and I missed 1 week. And then at the 14th game of the season, I had a back injury, and I missed the last 2 games. But kind of, in a sense, I had a long bye there, came back, my arm was fresh, my legs were fresh, and kind of refocused me into the playoffs. Now,
I got to ask you about, you guys had a uniform change a couple of years ago. Wait, show the old Pirate. Now, who is that guy? I mean, was that your idea, the hat with the feather? Where'd that come from?
I wasn't there.
With the guy with the knife and then, yeah. Because the new, well, show the new one. See, the new one, at least you go, oh, okay, that's a little more piratey. The other one kind of looks like something from the Village People. Is that, did they kind of play a major part in it?
Oh, God.
Did you like the old logo?
Plead the fifth, you know.
And the uniforms are better now. You had that orangey creamsicle thing going a while. That was so the guy with a knife and a feather and a creamsicle, nobody came in with that.
Yeah, you couldn't hide from in those uniforms. You couldn't hide at all.
No. Now, Brad, let me ask you something, because I read these things. You're like a clean freak. You would go in and change and...
Yeah, you know, actually, when I go into a game, I sweat a lot, and my gears, I wear 3 jerseys, have two rib pads, 2 shoulder pads, 5 pairs of shoes, 3 socks, 3 undershirts, and what I do is I change after warm-ups, change at halftime, and sometimes it'll be a quick change on the sidelines, but I just like to feel fresh, and actually, I just...
So you like that?
Yeah, I feel like...
We have to stop here. So what you're saying is you don't want to go out in the field with that not-so-fresh feeling. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe.
I just want to make sure, because that's what happened. Now, are you fresh also?
I keep my same uniform on. Actually, my locker is right next to his, and every time he goes to
Is it just like a spring day when he opens it?
I mean, he opens up this silver briefcase, and it has this nice and neat and packed on. And I look and oh, well, here he goes. And I think yesterday, something was missing, huh?
Yeah, usually I come in, I'm going to let somebody have it, but usually it's there. You know, I just got to complain when I come in the door. It just kind of gets me in the...
Because a lot of guys are superstitious, right? A lot of guys, if I won in these socks, I'm wearing these socks every game. I mean, that's pretty common, right?
Yeah, and for some reason, it seems like I'm going toward that way. You know, I rode the last bus to the stadium in Philadelphia. I rode the last bus to the Super Bowl,
That's right. Yeah.
It was just one of those things, so...
Now, is it me, or are there just more and more commercials every year? I mean, like when you guys are out there in the field, you're just going, waiting for the tidy bowl guy to finish up there so you can go with him. I mean, does that drive you batty? Just...
I didn't notice it.
Yeah.
No?
During the game, it felt like we were just rolling. But, you know, I think the hardest part about a Super Bowl, which is different after warm-ups, there was about a 45-minute break before we actually stepped on the field with all the hoopla. And then at halftime, it was a 30-minute break. So you kind of... Keyshawn and I were both taking naps before the game, for a Super Bowl, you know?
I was asleep. I was really asleep. I was snoring.
Really? Let me ask you about John Gruden. He's been here a couple of times, and he's a pretty amazing guy. And I'm wondering, at halftime, all right, you're winning. Is that the scariest point of the game? Like, God, we can't screw this up. I mean, you get that initial rush of, okay, we're ahead. What does he say? When you're in the locker room there at halftime, what?
I don't know if we can tell you what he says on national TV.
No?
He throws a lot of F-bombs.
Really? 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 Wow.
A lot.
You ever can anybody do an impression of him?
I'm pretty sure, Brad.
It's like he's like every time he eats a lemon, you know, he just squinting at you, you know. And for me, you know, quarterback, we're always communicating with each other. Every time I screw up on the field, and I don't go to him, I go around and kind of just sneak to the back, and he yells at my quarterback coach, and the quarterback talks to me. So
I mean, is it inspiring? Does he really? I mean, are you fired up already, and whatever he says, he says?
Well, yeah.
Or does it really give you that? You know.
I like that. In the Super Bowl, we screwed up a play in the huddle, or he screwed it up, or however it came out, it didn't go right. And so he's screaming, and I'm 30 yards away from him, and I'm screaming back at him, you know, but that kind of gets us going in the right mood, because then we can say, I told you.
Now, do you feel like you got a lot of inside information? Obviously, last year he was Raiders coach, of course. I mean, did you feel like you were privy to a lot of things that maybe you would not have known about the Raiders?
Well, like in terms of the secondary, he told us certain things about the corners that we were going to face. I mean, what he thought, you know, they can do, what their strengths and weaknesses were. Brad's, you know, that's his coach, and I'm pretty sure he probably did a lot of things for you.
he did, but you know, I think even with that, you know, we've always talked to us about us and the system, and let's just perfect what we're doing and just, you know, make them pay the price, and that's what happened.
Well, it's a great job, gentlemen. Congratulations to both of you. Just great. Keyshawn, Brad, best of luck too. We'll see you next year. Be right back with Vivian Green right after this.